Okay, so thank you everyone for dialing in. We are at day third of this demo series. So far, yesterday and day before yesterday, we looked at what a business analyst does. Okay, so how does a business analyst perform within an IT industry? What are some of the high level roles and responsibilities that a BA performs? Okay, then what training program has been designed by Harsha Trainings that will help students to learn about the different aspects starting from soft skills to the technical skills required by someone to be a successful business analyst. Okay, we also looked at how we'll be supporting you through your journey. Okay? And what are the different certification options that are available to you. Okay? Now let's take this discussion a step further. Okay? So now generally the question that comes around in the minds of student is, once we have gained a good understanding of BA roles, responsibilities, the BA work and everything, okay, we want to know how BA role differs from some of the other commonly thought about roles. Okay, for example, what's the difference between a BA and a data analyst? Okay, are both the same? Are both different? What's the difference between a BA and a Scrum Master? Seems like both are non-coding role. So where should I go? Okay. And then there is a growing fear of the growth of AI, which will take away all of the jobs. Okay. So we will address that as well. So with that, let's get started. Okay. Again, thank you everyone for dialing into the day third of the demo series. Okay. Now, as usual, all these notes that we have been making, they will get uploaded to the Google Classroom. If you have any questions with respect to accessing these notes or you want to access these notes, okay, reach us out on this number, okay, saying that you have attended the demo series and you would like to get access to the Google Classroom links. Okay. Also, the recorded videos will be uploaded on YouTube for your reference as well. Now let's get started. So the first difference that we want to look at is BA versus Scrum Master. Okay. So what the basic difference between any two roles lies in the kind of work that roles perform. So we talked about BA. BA is about managing external stakeholders plus internal stakeholders. Okay. So BA is responsible for managing external and internal stakeholders. Okay. A Scrum Master is mainly responsible for managing internal stakeholders. Okay. So a Scrum Master may mainly be interacting with the senior leadership, reporting them metrics with respect to the performance of the team, how the team is performing, what kind of work the team is undertaking. Okay. So they are mainly responsible for managing internal stakeholders, starting with the leadership, okay, and then guiding the teams. Okay, so that's the primary difference. Now, a BA may not interact as frequently as Scrum Master does with the leadership, okay? But BA will be talking to external stakeholders like clients from whom we are going to get our requirements, as well as internal stakeholders like the team members who will be responsible for designing and developing the software. Okay? Now, a BA is part of the technical role set that we looked at. Okay. A Scrum Master is actually part of the majorly considered as the non-technical role. Okay. Now, why am I saying this? So, a BA like I said, is primarily responsible for building the requirement document. Now, that requirement document acts as a guide for everyone to decide on the directions in which they have to go. Okay? Without the directions provided by the BA, the entire software development activity could end in chaos. Why chaos? Because you may end up building a software which is not in line with the expectations of client. Okay? Before a BA actually started working, yeah, or before the role of BA was introduced, a lot of software development activity used to take place directly between the developers and the clients. Okay? And then everyone realized that this direct work between developers and client is not effective, because a developer's focus is mainly on getting the building the software, so they want to know the technical aspects, whereas clients are mainly non-technical in nature. Okay. Now, scrum master on the other hand is primarily responsible for conducting activities like coaching and guiding team members, resolving conflicts, okay, people management activity, ensuring that everyone in the team is performing at best of their potential. Okay? If someone's unable to perform, talk to them, understand what's the reason behind them. So Scrum Master is more of a people management role. Okay? How are people in your team performing? Are they performing best? Are they facing any bottlenecks, challenges? How can I help my people resolve their bottlenecks or challenges? Is everyone actively engaged with some kind of work? Is someone sitting idle? Okay, so Scrum Master is more of a people management role rather than being involved directly in the software development. Okay, I'm not saying Scrum Master is not involved in Scrum software development, but a primary responsibility of a Scrum Master is to be engaged in people management. Okay. Whereas a BA's primary responsibility is to work with the multiple stakeholders to ensure that you have the best possible requirements that can be worked upon. So, since BA is more close with the software development work, it lies in the category of technical roles. A Scrum Master being more of a people manager, okay, so it lies in the category of non-technical role majorly. Now that leads to a next question, that is, so which will offer me a better job security? Okay, eventually we don't just want to build a, I mean, do a job, we want to build a career. Okay, if you want to build a career, you obviously want to be in a job in an area where you get better job security. Okay? Now, the fundamental idea of job security actually lies with government jobs. Okay, if you have a government job, you can think about security. If you are working in a private sector, there is nothing called job security. Okay, you have to perform. As long as you are performing, you will have your job. The day organization realizes that your performance is not up to the mark, or maybe you are performing, but you are no longer a cost efficient person, we have to pay too much salary for the performance that you are giving. Okay? So there's nothing like job security in the corporate world, private job sector. However, we can have a relative comparison with each other. Okay? So in the days leading up to COVID and during COVID, what I realized is a BA has better job security then Scrum Master. Okay. Now, what's the reason for that? Like I said, as long as you are in the technical areas of software development, you will have better job security. Okay. So during COVID times, okay, no one knew how the markets will unfold. Okay, whether we will get more work or not. So everyone was panicking. So during panic, what happens is people don't want to disturb the teams that are primarily doing the software development. Okay? Majorly people in the people management role are targeted. Okay, now I am not saying that Scrum Masters are always targeted, but during COVID time, when the situation is tough, people want to stick with their technical teams alone. Okay, in such instances, BAs were asked to lead the team as well for some time, for some duration. Now, post COVID, okay, when things started to normalize, okay, again we saw good hiring rate for Scrum Masters again. Okay. But over the 2 year time frame of the COVID, or whenever the situations are tough, like the the market crash of 2008, things may not go in your favor, particularly if you are in a non technical role, that too performing below the leadership level. Okay. What we call as the mid managers. So mid managers are quite difficult roles to sustain, particularly during tough times. Okay. So in that instance, relatively, BA has better job security than Scrum Masters. Now I'll write down the next point, which is what a business analyst will do. Okay, so business analyst is primarily responsible for getting requirements, not only the requirements, but getting requirements is just one part of it. Okay, so getting requirements, working with stakeholders to decide the priority of the requirements, okay, which will which will eventually provide directions to team on software development. Okay. Whereas Scrum Master, what they will primarily be doing is during this software development activity, ensure that my teams are assigned with the work. Okay, team's productivity is high, team is not facing any challenges or bottlenecks. If there are, okay, they are actively engaged in removing those bottlenecks. Okay, so they are responsible for guiding and coaching the team with best practices on Scrum framework. Okay. And this guiding and coaching activity basically involves around all the activities that I talked about. That is ensuring that team has sufficient work, okay, that everyone is assigned with some type of work, team's productivity is high. If team is having any challenges, actively work with them to resolve those challenges. Okay. Whether those challenges are related to soft skills or technical skill set. If someone is not able to perform technically, work with them if they need any technical training or other type of things. Okay. So that's where the difference lies. Now mostly people get confused because both BA and Scrum Master are non-coding jobs. Okay. So because both are non-coding jobs, so people often get confused, thinking that both are more or less the same thing. Okay, but that's not the case. Just because the basic attribute of non-coding is same between the two roles doesn't mean the two roles are same. Okay, Now, before we move on to the next comparison between BA and DA, okay, I just want to check with you all if you have any questions with respect to what we have talked about so far. Yeah, I'll take the silence as no questions. Let's move on with the next comparison. Okay. Now, often we hear about business analyst and data analyst, and sometimes both the roles of BA and DA are overlapping with each other. But let's first clarify what's the difference between the two, and then what's the industry standard all about. Okay. So let me copy this one. Okay. So a BA is responsible for managing internal and external stakeholders. A data analyst is not responsible for managing stakeholders directly. Okay. A data analyst's primary responsibility is to build the reports. Okay. So, a business analyst will talk to the stakeholders, identify the requirements around what type of reports are needed, and a data analyst's primary responsibility is to build those reports as per the requirements. Okay? So, let me give you an example. Suppose I am an e-commerce company. Okay, suppose I own an e-commerce company and I want to know about the sales report. Okay, I want to know on a monthly basis how much sales am I making. Okay, so what will happen is, as a leadership, as a someone who leads the e-commerce company, I want to know how much sales we are making every month. Okay, so that I can identify whether our sales are increasing, decreasing, our sales are stagnant. Okay, and then I can accordingly take a corrective action. If I don't evaluate the data, if I simply keep my own assumptions, then it will be difficult for me to build strategies for improvement. Okay, so as an e-commerce company, suppose if I own that company, then I want to view the sales report. Okay, to accordingly make any changes in the strategy. Okay. Now what BA will do is BA will work with the stakeholder to identify what all parts you want to see in the report. For example, I want to see how many items were sold, at what price the items were sold. Okay. Did we sell these items at a discount? Did we sell at MRP? Okay. How many items were sold with discount? How many items were sold at MRP? Okay. How much profit did we realize from those sales, or did we end up making losses there? Okay. So a BA will work with external stakeholder to identify what should be the content of the report. Okay. Based on the information gathered by BA, a data analyst will work on building those reports. Okay. Now, the next thing that we will discuss is about usage of different tools or softwares. Okay. A BA will, like we discussed in our class yesterday, a BA will be responsible for interacting with tools like Jira, which falls into Agile Lifecycle Management category. They will be using a Microsoft Office, particularly Microsoft Word and Excel. Okay, and there could be some requirement management software as well. Okay, like Confluence or IBM's RecPro. Okay, so these are nothing but different softwares to manage your requirements, or you can consider them as single repository for your requirements. So rather than creating multiple requirement documents, keeping it at your desktop, what you will do is whatever requirement document you create, you will store it in Confluence or RecPro, so that you will have single view to all your requirements. Okay. Then you will also be working upon tools like Draw.io or Visio, okay, for creating the flowcharts. On the other hand, a data analyst primarily should be aware of a data visualization tool, okay, which mainly you would have heard about Power BI or Tableau tools. Okay, they fall into the category of data visualization tools or products. Okay. Along with it, it's always an added advantage to know SQL and Python. Now, data analyst obviously will be using these tools as well. Okay, Jira, Microsoft Office, and sometimes to create flowcharts, Draw.io and Visio as well. Okay. But even if you don't know Jira, even if you don't know MS Office, you can still survive. But the main part that you should be aware of as a data analyst is actually a data visualization tool, SQL, and Python. Okay, Python is not mandatory to an extent, but a data visualization tool and SQL, yes, it definitely is needed. Okay. Now both, there is some similarity as well. Both BA and DA are technical roles. Okay, because both are responsible with respect to not a software development, but kind of data analytics part. Okay. Now a BA primarily works in, or you can say majorly, or their main task or their main area where they will have work is software development. Okay. That means wherein you are responsible for working with your team to develop an end product which can be used to perform a task, an activity, okay, or even automate manual tasks. Now data analysts are primarily working in the data analytics part. Okay, so my regular software, what it will do is, say for example, uh, I work in a banking sector. Okay, I have built a software which we will call as internet banking. Okay, so through internet banking, people can carry out third party transactions or third party transfers. People can apply for credit cards, people can apply for personal loans. Okay, they can view their account statement, they can do n number of things using internet banking. Okay, so building that internet banking software is considered as part of your software development activity. Okay, now what data analyst does is, the regular software development, okay, will help me gather or will help me collect data. Say for example, if I have customer A, okay, customer A is getting lot of credits and debits. Okay, there are lot of money that gets credited, and then there is few amount of money that gets debited. Okay, so net they are positive of in terms of money being credited into their account. Now what will happen is, as I have this data available with me, okay, now as a data analyst, I wanted data, I have got lot of credit and debit data for customer A. Now I can build reports on top of it. Okay, is customer A having more of credits, more of debits? Okay, is customer A getting money credited in account quickly or taking long time to get money credited? Okay, what's the net of credit minus debit? Is it coming as a positive number, negative number? Okay, and then I can use those data analytics to assess whether to give give loan to the customer A or not. Okay, so the basic software development involves building a software or a product that can be used by my customers to perform some of the basic tasks. Okay, a data analyst will work on the data generated by the software, okay, and use the data to make sense out of it. Okay, we have data everywhere. Okay, what organizations have realized of late is that let's utilize the data to make sense out of it. See, for a long time, Google or Bing or Yahoo have been using customers data to actually provide data insights, okay, and to make their softwares even better. Now what every organization has been doing is we also have access to lot of data. Okay, for example, if you are in HDFC bank, you would know in which state how many bank accounts do you have. Okay, which state has the highest number of bank accounts, which state has highest number of money in their savings account. Okay, from which state I am making how much revenue, and which in which state I am not able to perform well. Okay, and then accordingly use this data to define strategies for improving your business. Okay, now these were the major differences between BA or Scrum Master and BA or Data Analyst. Okay? Now we will move on to the most favorite topic now, that probably most of us have been worried about or discussing. That's the advent of AI or artificial intelligence. Okay, now there is a general excitement, you can say, plus fear with respect to AI. Okay, excitement because we want to see how the AI will integrate within our lives. Okay, how it will integrate within our lives. Plus the fear is that will the integration be cost effective in a way that AI will start taking up my jobs, okay, and that that businesses will get more and more work done from AI rather than human beings. Okay, so there is a mix of excitement and fear both. Okay, so we'll try to address those one at a time, but first let's try to understand how much AI has progressed over the last few years. Okay, so in the last couple of years, okay, the work on AI has been in progress from quite a long. Okay, but what happens is unless a software becomes available for usage to general public, it doesn't catches attention of the people. Okay, you may be doing hundreds of things, you may be building hundreds of software, but unless your software becomes public, unless it is available for general public to use, it is difficult to grab attention. Okay, so that's what happened in the last few years. Okay, with chat GPT coming into place, okay, or Google's Gemini getting into the market, or Facebook's Llama. Okay, what has happened is the AI softwares are now available to general public. Okay, and that is what has got attention of everyone. Okay, if you are doing some research and development within your organization, building up a software that's not available for general public to use, probably there's no buzz around it. Okay, but now it is available, so there's lot of discussion around it. Okay, what are some of the popular tools that we see in the space of AI? So Chat GPT by OpenAI, Gemini by Google, and then we have Facebook's Llama as well. Okay. And recently we heard about one of the new entrant, DeepSeek, by a Chinese company as well. Okay, and these are just some of the names for us to get started. Okay, these are these are not the only available AI softwares in front of us. Okay. Now, what exactly are these AI tools doing? Okay, so earlier the advent of AI was majorly to, let's say, look at the data pattern, identify frauds if any possible. Okay. Now the AI has gone one step ahead, and now, what we are discussing about Chat GPT, Gemini and Llama are part of Gen AI, okay, or what we call as generative AI. Okay, so why we call them generative AI? Because you can send in a prompt. Okay, prompt is basically the question that you want to ask. Okay, so based on the prompt that you send into the AI tools, you will get a response back. Okay, and that response is generated based on the data training these AI tools have undergone. Okay, so the AI tools have been trained using wide variety of data. So based on the training that they have received, they are now capable of generating a response, and that is why they are called generative AI. Okay, now, earlier, what used to happen is if I want to search anything online, let's say, for example, I want to I want to attend a training program for banking sector. Okay, I'm particularly interested in how banking sector works, and I want to attend a training program. So, what will I do? I will search on Google or Yahoo or Microsoft's Bing. Okay, now when I search, I'll get a list of websites. Okay, now what I'll have to do is I'll have to go through those websites and identify, okay, which one is best suitable for me. Okay, so there was no straightforward response. If I ask a question to search engines, those search engines will give me a list of websites, and then I'll have to go through each website, figure out which one is relevant for me. Okay, now what has happened with Gen AI? Okay, I'll do the same search, or I'll ask the same question or prompt to Gen AI tools. Okay, and now instead of giving me a list of websites, I'll be getting more specific response to the question. Okay, and that's what we humans expect as well. If I ask you a question, you give me a response back. Okay, if you give me like list of 100 websites without giving me a response, that okay, here are 100 books, go and read them, it will be difficult for me to go through all the books and figure out an answer. Okay, so what has happened is that this one activity has made Gen AI more popular, okay, among people who are using it, is because it is providing specific responses to your prompts rather than giving you a generic list of websites to navigate from. Okay. Now this obviously leads to certain questions as well, that it is okay that I am able to ask question, I'm able to get response. Okay, but how do I know, or how do I rely on the response given? Now, to be honest, even earlier when I was using Chat GPT or any other tool, AI tools, okay, they would just ask, they would just give you a prompt to ask question and they'll show you the response. Okay, now even they have added a disclaimer that the results are not 100% reliable. Okay, so you cannot say that whatever response I am getting is 100% correct response. Okay, all the response that you get from Gen AI, okay, is dependent on the data that was used for training. Okay, if the data that was used for training is flawed, incorrect, has incorrect statistics, incorrect information, then obviously the Gen AI will give you false or not reliable responses as well. Okay, so that is where everyone adds a word of caution, that though Gen AI is helping you provide specific responses, but you have to be cautious about what response they are giving you. Okay? You cannot blindly trust the response coming out of an AI tool. Okay? You cannot rely solely on their response. Okay? You have to do your due diligence as well. Okay. So if the results are not 100% reliable, why should I be worried about AI? Okay. Why should I be worried about whether AI will take my job, or why should I be even using AI? Okay. So the answer actually lies on, okay, why should I be worried about AI if it is not giving me 100% reliable responses? Okay. So there are certain areas where AI can certainly help you do your job effectively. For example, if I want to write an email to my boss about about providing a status update on what tasks I am working. Okay. Now I have the list of tasks, but you know what? Framing sentences before, after, salutations, closing statements, these seem little bit challenging to me. Okay, I am spending half an hour, 1 hour trying to frame the appropriate statements. I have an Excel sheet where I have my list of tasks. Okay, and I also have start date, end date, percentage completion, everything is updated in the Excel sheet. So one simple thing I can do is simply attach that Excel sheet and share it with my boss. Okay, but my boss is asking to draft it in a proper email. So what I can do is, whenever I am presented with tasks such as creating presentations, okay, or doing school or college assignments, drafting email templates, building resumes, okay, some of the monotonous, boring, lethargic jobs, okay, or work that doesn't require much of a skill set, okay, or that doesn't challenge your creativity. Okay. Now for these type of mundane tasks or monotonous tasks, you can definitely collaborate with AI or work with AI to do your job more efficiently. Or even for that example, creating documents as well. Okay. I have the content. Okay. Now, a lot of content writer, if you see nowadays, are using the AI tools to give in the information and then ask AI to rephrase or paraphrase that information into a more readable content or a readable newsletter kind of thing. Okay, so I will give you the information, I'll feed in the information, you give me back a newsletter kind of detail that can around using the information that I plugged into you. Okay, so you can create documents even for writing articles slash newsletters. Okay, generating images. So now when you have to build a newsletter or a presentation, you want to utilize some fancy images. Okay. So the Gen AI is capable of generating images on the fly as well. Okay. So you no longer have to spend time thinking about the design, the color code, the color combination, okay, all that. All you have to do is just ask the Gen AI and provide them with the relevant information. What kind of image are you looking for? what are the different elements that should be present in the image that you are looking for. Okay? And it will generate an image for you. Similarly, you can provide the input content, and it will use that content or information to build a newsletter kind of thing for you, or articles for you. Okay? So that's where people are collaborating with AI to do their job more efficiently or more effectively. Okay? Now, if you adopt to AI, okay, you can certainly improve the productivity. If you shy away from AI, okay, there will always be a risk to your job. Okay, so I'll not deny that AI will not take away jobs, but the areas where AI will be primarily targeting are mundane jobs or boring jobs. Okay, jobs which doesn't require much thought process around it. Okay, so jobs that can be automated or that can be managed by AIs easily and effectively. You would have heard about OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman, where he was saying about that we are building AI agents as well. Okay, these AI agents will be like robots only. You can consider them like robots, but they are essentially a software where you can give them task and they will get the task done for you. Okay? But how reliable are those? That's again a big question. Okay? Then again, there are questions with respect to data privacy and security as well. Okay? A lot of organizations need to secure the data that they have obtained from the customer. Okay? AI tools use data for training. Okay? So whether the AI tools will be using my personal data also for training, then it's a big question mark on data security. Okay? So along with reliability, the other major concerns from AI is on data privacy and data security. That's where a lot of organizations only want to touch upon AI where access to data is not a problem. Okay? Where I can allow the AI tool to have free access to the data, because such access will not lead to any kind of security violations. Even when you are using AI in your personal capacity, you should make sure that you are not sharing or disclosing any personal information with AI. Okay, AI tools will use the data to learn and make themselves better, so do not share any personal private information while using AI tools. Okay, now, for people who will not adopt to AI, there will obviously be a growing concern. So, if I can work with AI and I can build better presentations, better articles, better emails than my colleagues, obviously I'll get more preference during the appraisal cycle as well. But does that mean I should be worried that AI will take away my job? Okay. So the answer with respect to business analyst community is certainly no. Okay. Now why no? Okay, so there are two reasons for it. Number one is the nature of the job. Okay. So see, the amount of work that you do, wherein you are working on the fly with multiple stakeholders, talking to them and getting requirements and doing post analysis on the requirements. Okay, sometimes you have access to private and confidential data as well. Okay, so which people may not want everyone to view that. Okay, so the nature of the job you are in, okay, it doesn't involve 100% implementation of the AI. Okay, but you can certainly, like I said, take help of AI, and you should take help of AI for doing some of the mundane tasks. Okay, so that you can free up your time into delivering, into focusing on something more important. And that's what leads to the next aspect. Okay, so what we are doing involves creativity. Okay, so as long as the activity that you do are not mundane or boring, or okay, involves a certain pattern, okay, it will be difficult for AIs to do your job. Okay, and that's what I was hearing in a podcast couple of years back, that when whenever we are going through any transition stage or any transformations, okay, there will be growing concerns as well. Okay, for example, when electricity was invented, a lot of people were fearing that a lot of jobs will go away. Okay, because with the advent of electricity, what happened, people started focusing on industrialization. Okay, so initially electricity came in. Once the electricity was invented, people started fearing that a lot of jobs will go away, particularly because now we will have electricity that will take over the manual job that people were doing. But what happened is people adapted with respect to electricity, and then new jobs were created around as well. Then industrialization came in. Okay, with electricity, now people started moving to industrialization. That is, people, instead of allowing more and more people in the factories, okay, they were buying more and more machines in the factories. Again, people were thinking that machines will do my job, and I will not get a job somewhere. Okay, as of now, I am personally manually involved in doing all the jobs, but with machines now into the factories, who will do what kind of job will I do if machine is going to do my job? But again, new jobs were created because we needed someone to look after the machines, maintain them. Okay, if there is any problem, fix those machines. Plus, the industry or the companies that were manufacturing these machines, we needed people over there as well. Okay, then we gradually started to move toward internet. Okay, again, earlier for everything we used to visit offices. Now with the advent of internet, what happened is you no longer have to visit offices, you can get things done online. Okay, again, there was growing fear that because everything is getting done online, will anyone come and visit my bank? Okay, particularly banking sector was afraid that a lot of people doing things or transacting online means that we don't need ATMs, we don't need more and more branches. Okay, but the number of branches grew every year. Okay, because now we can do more tasks in less amount of time. Okay, suppose earlier if you were only able to address 10 customers in a day if they visit your branch, now with people going online you can handle more and more transactions. Okay, there will be people who will be taking out their transactions online, there will be people who will be coming to branch as well. Okay, so now we are able to do more. Now again, we went through that stage as well. Then came the mobile revolution, where now everything is being done through our handset itself. And now we are going through the AI revolution as well. Okay, so naturally, if a new tool comes up and takes job, okay, new jobs will be created as well. Okay, if you are someone who is involved in a routine job, mundane jobs, okay, then it is time for you to think about moving to a more creative side of the jobs. Okay, if you are already working on the creative side of the job, like business analysts, developers, probably it's time for you to think about how can I use AI to better do my job or to improve my productivity. Okay, but not to be worried about it. Okay, AI will definitely be going to be a part of our lifestyle. It will definitely get integrated. Some companies will definitely start rolling out AI agents as well, but it's more about how I use them to better integrate into my job and improve my productivity rather than being scared from it. Yeah, On that note, I'll stop here. I'll see if you guys have any questions.
No, thank you, sir.
Sure. So thank you everyone for your time. That concludes our 3-day demo series. I hope you guys were able to learn something out of it. Okay. As always, if you have any questions, do reach out to us at Harsha Trainings. Okay. The number is there at the top. Okay. If you want, you can make a note of it. Thank you everyone.
Excuse me, sir. When does the actual session start?
The actual classes will begin from tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you everyone.